Hi, this is Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about planetary energies that have been affecting us. That's right, today we're talking about Saturn, and I know Saturn kind of doesn't really get enough energy from people. It's one of those, I think that's kind of the interesting part, is Saturn changes so many things for so many people, and we don't really give it the credit that it's due, because Saturn has such amazing energy to kind of that karmic kick. It all comes from Saturn, all of that energy. So it's kind of like, if you've been having a hard time, and I'll give you some dates really quick, from when Saturn went into full retrograde on June 4th, and you're still having one now. It comes out of full retrograde on October 22nd. That's because you've had karma, or you've had did something to someone else and you didn't take accountability for it, or you didn't clear up that energy. And so it's gonna one of those, it's like still kicking you in the behind over this, but it will get lighter and easier. Saturn kind of really governs like structure and discipline and karma. So if you have been dealing with things or not doing the disciplined things that you know that you're supposed to be doing, Saturn will be kicking your behind. So that's kind of one of those interesting things. And it spends a lot of time in retrograde. And I think it's one of those, because it's in the sign of Aquarius, it is really kicking a lot of karmic people things. And you're seeing this kind of, and I've seen it with so many other people, that karmic kick is really coming in. People that would normally kind of like get away with things, or you would think they would get away with things, they're not. And you're kind of seeing this because Saturn is one of the outer planets. You are seeing this in a lot of different spheres. The closer in the planet is to us, the more it affects the individual. The further out, the more it affects globally. States, countries, hemispheres, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of, and because Saturn is out there, it's really affecting a lot of countries that have had this like karmic, like, oh, we're above all of this, and now it's kind of coming and kicking them in the butt. And I've seen this a lot, especially with countries that really haven't started opening up, and then they're kind of expecting their economies to get better, but it's like, but you haven't opened your country. So it's like, you know, you're getting in that like fine line here. I will say that I have seen a lot of people in relationships, and this is one that I really think is interesting, is because a lot of the people that are in relationships, and I don't mean husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, I mean like friendships, that sort of thing. And I've seen this a lot lately with a lot of people that are in relationships that are kind of like, they needed like a stay-in mom, or they needed a father figure in their life. And those people have been stepping up and kind of clearing some of their own karma by helping out this newer young person. Maybe their family's kind of given up on them in some way, but it's one of those, because that newer person is kind of like, yes, I'll be like your surrogate kid, and you get to be my surrogate parent for a period of time. This parent gets to kind of clear out a lot of this karmic energy that's been kind of like following them. They get to be the person they always hoped to be, or the parent they always hoped to be. And that really is a great time to kind of like clear things out. And like I said, it's kind of that investment in their time and their energy and their love and their devotion to someone who's not really family, to kind of teach them and educate them and help them learn things in different ways that they haven't learned before. And it's one of those, sometimes the kids, and I don't mean like little kids, I mean we're talking people in their 20s and 30s and 40s, having kind of like surrogate parents kind of coming up and yes, we'll be there for you. We'll talk you through this. We'll help you through these parts. And that's kind of a really fun thing. And I think that is kind of like the interesting part for most people, is that they are getting that surrogate parent, but that surrogate parent is getting them as well. So if you're in one of these relationships where you have been kind of like a surrogate parent or a surrogate child, not that these are coming to a close, but it's one of those, like that karmic time to kind of like balance the energies is kind of coming to a close. They are getting that balanced energy in with you, of being able to clear things up, kind of push things off in some new and different ways. And I think that's kind of the fun part of this, is they're really getting that opportunity to kind of clear the slate with their family, but you're getting a person to kind of step up and be that parent figure that you didn't have before. A couple of the dates that are still going to be affecting us: on October 11th, we have our sun in the sign of Leo, forms a positive trine to Saturn in retrograde. And this is going to be adding like a lot of positive power to our lives. And like I said, this is a really great time to kind of step forward and kind of like think these surrogates in our lives. And the next one is like October 13th, we have Venus in the sign of Libra, forms a trine with Saturn in retrograde. And this is bringing everything to a close. And so all of those, that old energy, those old things are kind of coming to a close. And that's kind of the interesting energy with this, is that this time frame is really coming to a close, kind of like closing out. And that is kind of like the special way of being able to get rid of that old karmic energy, and that's kind of the fun part as well. So let's do some angel cards and get us a little bit more insight into this. So this one is the 11th house, and this is all about community, and that's really what they're building with you, is they're building kind of like their own community with their own family members. It's kind of like they're adding that energy to us of kind of like making us part of their family, even if we're really not blood related. So that's kind of the fun part of it, is kind of like we get to be part of their family. I have had many women step up with me in this department and kind of really help mother me in some new and different areas. So that is a really fun thing. This one is Leo, and it's really time to shine. And I think it's really a great time to really shine in that area of letting people know how much they've meant to you, how much you have cared for them, and how much they've been a part of your life, and what you have done differently because they've taught you differently. And I think that is an interesting phenomena. Next is Cancer, and this is all about the immersion. They have immersed you in their energy. They have kind of like walked through the fire already, and now they're kind of coming out a new person, and then they're immersing you in all of that great, I've already learned this, those life lessons, I'm bringing this to you, I'm changing my energy, I'm moving this energy forward. Next is Venus, and this is the beloved, and it's really, they get to feel that child energy of like what it would be like to have a child that doesn't have that history with them, and then you get to kind of get to feel their energy of having a parent that doesn't have the same history as your family, and that gives us a great insight about all things possible in this area. And the 8th house is all about the mystery. It is a mystery. It's a mystery sometimes, like how we find these people and how they become a part of our family for a period of time. This is an amazing time of year that we can really open up to this and really make that a healing part, not only for us, but for them as well. And I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.